Hey guys, it's Andrea with Sucs For You in Houston, Texas, and this video is going to be about this Sansevieria masoniana whale fin. And you can tell why it's called a whale fin. We got it about a little over a year ago with just one leaf. Actually, it was this leaf, and then this one came in, and it happens pretty quickly. And then recently, over this summer, early summer and to now, this is the newest leaf. So I was like, I think I probably need to repot it soon. I'm curious to see what else is going on down in here. And just by luck, I was driving by a house the other day down the road, and someone had just put this big boy out on the curb. I pulled over, parked it like it was hot, and jumped out. And the owner of the house was like standing right there behind the fence. And I was like, oh, hey. And they're like, take it. And so I was like, perfect timing. So we want to, make sure it has enough room to grow. This is quite an upgrade in the pot size. And that means I'm going to need I'm going to use a lot more drainage materials. So we'll reuse what's in this pot. We'll use some of my fast draining soil mix over here. And then I'll have some extra dirt just from the garden soil. And I'm going to get some more drainage materials. Be right back. Alright, so I went ahead and topped off my fast draining soil mix with a whole lot of turfus. It's the stuff that's on baseball fields to absorb water when it rains, things like that. Very commonly used as a cheap soil amendment, and you can probably find it nearby you. I will link to my DIY soil recipe right now, and then you'll be able to see all the different drainage materials I used. Luckily, I can find pretty much everything locally now. Pumice, turfus, expanded shale. But again, I have a lot of turfus right now, and it's light, and we're going to try and keep this pot light. So take out our crystal. Let's see what's going on in here. I'll just start by dumping it out. We're gonna reuse this. What's going on here? I wonder if there's gonna be any new pups coming up. Just kind of see what the root situation is like. As you can tell, there's barely any organic soil in here. I don't know if you can tell by what's coming out of here. That's all my top dressing. And I want to kind of keep that separate because it's pretty and it has black lava or rocks in it and stuff. Put that over to the side. Let me see. Look at the bottom really quick. Yeah, there's a root, I think, coming out the bottom. So there's a hole with a screen in it. I'm just going to push that up a little. Try and loosen it from the bottom. And since I want to reserve this for use as the top dressing, I'm going to save that right there. Right. Turn back in. And holding it by the drainage hole in the bottom. Just trying to keep this neater. Yeah. Just gonna work on this for a minute. Oh, we're making a mess. It's okay. Oh wow, this is awesome. Okay, hold on. Oh, she's in there, y'all. Okay, I'm pulling pretty hard, but slow. Cool. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah. Whoa. I'll set this down. Don't fall. Actually, do this. Alright. I need a little break with my fan. A little hand fan. I'm addicted to this thing now. It's no joke. Oh, it's so good. I even posted a link to this in my last video on euphorbias. Somebody said they bought two. And yeah, I recently learned that actually you can plug it into the charger and it still works, which is awesome. I guess most things do that. My dustbuster doesn't work if you have it charging. Anyways. Oh, okay. This is really cool. Look, look, look. There's like, look at that. I think that's a tuber. Oh. So, I don't really want to fool with breaking up the roots too much. I am just kind of looking for new growth. I don't really see any, and even if I did, I would still just bury it straight in to the new pot. You'll find the new growth will find its way out to the top, kind of like Coworthias. If you repot them and there's pups, or aloe, leave pups under the soil, just cover them up. They'll find their way out. Okay. So that's where we're at with that. I am going to take off the old screen. And all right, move that. Bring this over here. Look, this already has a big screen in the bottom. And we'll start with, I'm just going to add this back in. I don't know if I'm going to have enough soil to fill this whole pot up with what I have here. I'm going to go in. This is some of the organic stuff right there. I made such a mess, you guys, so much. Let's just set you down for a second. No, I need this. Hold on. Okay, and then we're going to come back, start adding drainage materials. I have a fix for that. It's really hot out. It's not as hot as yesterday. We have clouds right now. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. Checking it out. I think I want to add more soil. What do we have? We'll go in with the rest this bin. It's getting there, but I'm going to go ahead and add more drainage materials. So they're actually, that's what the roots are going to be in mostly. And then stir. All right, so I keep this, I mean, if it's cold and I'm worried about that, I'll bring it inside and it does pretty well. It doesn't grow very much, but when I bring it outside, for a while I had it up on the porch covered up, so it wasn't, you know, I was underwatering it probably, but it was still doing pretty good there. But I wound up putting it out on a bench in the yard, and so it gets rain and it's very happy there, but I want to make sure it doesn't, you know, wind up getting root rot. Got a little drainage material happy. I'm gonna need to take some out. You're just adjusting to see the height, like, want it pretty close to the top. Let's see. All right, I think that's good. So from here, if you go ahead and fill it up and you want to raise your plant up a little higher, that's fine. So let's start filling it up. So yeah, if you're growing these indoors, you got to be really careful about overwatering them. They're not going to need a lot of water. Maybe once every 3 weeks. So once you start to see that new little tip of growth come out, oh, it's so exciting. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to lift it up like that. I think that's good. It has a lot of new room to grow, new babies. And I don't want to bother separating them right now. That's why I didn't even, I didn't like try and take all the roots apart and try and separate them into individual plants, because that just means I have more pots to keep up with, so we're gonna keep them all together. I'm gonna stop right here, and then I'm gonna go back in with my pretty drainage materials. I mean, it's basically the same. It just has more of the black lava rock in it. All right. You can't forget the crystal. I have to clean this up a little bit. It's driving me crazy. I should have used a bigger bin, but alright. I'm just brushing it into this little container, add it back in, and make more mess while I'm doing it. Okay. And there we have it. Awesome, beautiful, gorgeous. I wonder when the next leaf is going to come up. It might be a little upset after repotting it. Might just want to chill for a while, but you know, I'm going to pretend like that never happened, and I'll just put it back where it was, and next time it rains, it'll get rained on, and then we'll just start checking for more babies and doing more leaf growth updates. Yeah, this is so cool. So this is the first leaf again, and then the second one that came in is bigger than the first. So when I was posting updates, people were wondering, is this one going to wind up being even bigger than the next one? Sorry about that. And not yet, but maybe eventually. It's huge. I love it. I really love big leafed plants. So this is where she lives. It's on this shelf up against the fence under a shady pecan tree and just outside of the pergola cover, so it gets rained on. But all these guys seem to be pretty happy over here with the rain and with the nice, you know, it's decent light, but it's considered shade most of the day. So if it starts to get too cold, we don't want these, you know, I don't want these getting wet and being cold and getting cold, wet roots, because that will cause rot. So we'll either move it out of the rain or bring it indoors, give it a lot of light, really cut back on watering till it's time to go back outside again. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of viewers that don't subscribe. And if you do subscribe, it's like super helpful. It really helps me grow my channel. And you know, I'm trying to make more videos. It's hot out here, and a lot of times it's really loud. There's neighbor dogs and lawn mowers and stuff going on, but today turned out to be a pretty good day to make a video, and I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I had such a cool plant to show you guys. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and read my book, The Succulent Manual, if you haven't already. And read the video description, because I put a lot of information down in there too. Okay,